9 o'clock, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I wanted to talk about this morning was, so a lot of yogis and people who practice yoga wear these beads, right? So they're not just to look cool. These are mala beads. So japa mala means japa means muttering, and mala means garland. And so in a lot of traditions, Hindu, Buddhist, Christian, I'm not sure about Judaism, if they have worry beads or some kind of mechanism for counting, or for just kind of giving your hands a place to rest while they're praying or saying a mantra. So you may already know that, but I just wanted to share that, what the purpose of this is. There are 108 beads, which is a sacred number in Hinduism. And so Japamala, our word for today. So I wanted to start with a couple of yin poses. Taking the blocks and stacking them so that the long way is facing you. And then we're going to put the edges of the feet up on the edges of the block. If you don't have a block, you can use whatever will provide a little lift for your feet. And you can use one or two blocks, depending on what feels good for you today. And then we're simply going to hinge forward. So we're going to drop into our forward fold. And you can put your elbows in front of your shins. You can tuck them under. You can slide your hands behind your shins, resting your hands on the block. Just find a way to be comfortable. We're going to be here for about 3 minutes. And we're opening up the hips and the low back. So just let your head and neck fall. Crown of the head falls toward the floor. Shoulders relax. And this is a great place to work on your deep belly breathing, because your belly is nice and unconstricted. So let's really bring the breath down into the belly on the inhale. And as you exhale, let the chest fall closer toward the chair. And just let everything go. Whatever it took to get here today, just leave it off your mat. And just notice as you're here for about another minute and a half, that gravity and the weight of the body will just naturally take you deeper into the pose. Let out any sighs or sounds that naturally arise. And about another 30 seconds. If you can soften a little bit more. up to your knees or thighs. Slowly start to press yourself up. Coming up to a straight spine. Bring the knees together. You can slide the feet off the block. And let's just take an opposite stretch here. So coming into our cow pose. So reaching the chest and the tailbone forward. Well, tailbone back, chest forward, shoulders squeezed together. So we were holding in a rounded flexion. Now we want to be in extension. Nice, and then let's reset back to neutral spine. Putting the blocks a little bit away from the body. Take another yin warm up. We're going to place one heel on the blocks and move the blocks away so that that leg can be straight. I'm going to scooch to the edge of the chair. So that I can hinge forward. My right foot's on the block, my left foot is ankle below the knee, spine nice and long to begin with. And let's take a big inhale, reach the arms overhead. And exhale, hinge forward from the hips. So we're just going to bring the hands down wherever they land. And you might drape the forearm on the thigh, the left forearm on the left thigh. If it's easy for you to reach your toes, you can rest your right hand on your toes. But we're not going to be pulling back. So this is a passive stretch. Again, we're just going to let the weight of the body and gravity naturally allow that hamstring to open up. We'll be here for about 3 minutes. Your head can be wherever it's comfortable for you. So you can let the head and neck go. You can maybe pick a point a foot or so in front of your blocks and look there, just so that the neck is long, not scrunched up. And shoulders down, away from the ears. And just close the eyes. Take a little scan of your body and notice if you're gripping anywhere or if you're engaging any muscles that don't need to be working right now. So perhaps you can let go of the belly or the glutes. Maybe the jaw is clenched. Or maybe your forehead is in a furrow. See if you can unwind a little bit using the breath. As you inhale, imagine that fresh supply of oxygen circulating all throughout the body, coming into the lungs and then being delivered into the bloodstream, out to all the little capillaries, arteries, blood vessels. The breath of life. We have about another minute here, so make any adjustments you might want to, either coming out a little bit or going just a little deeper. And take a deep breath as you start to come back up and press into your thighs, slowly making your way back up. Use your right hand to help your right foot come off the block. Come into a comfortable seat. Reach the crown of the head long. Tuck the tailbone towards the chair and relax the shoulders down away from the ears. So just coming into our mountain pose, maybe rest the arms down by your side, palms face forward. And just noticing the difference between the right and the left hamstring. And blinking the eyes open, we'll take that to the other side. So this time the left heel comes up. The left leg is long. You can keep a little bend in that knee if your hamstrings are really tight. Right ankle below right knee. Reach the arms overhead as you inhale. And we'll exhale, hinging from the hips, folding forward. Just find a comfortable place for your hands to rest. You might notice this side feels tighter or maybe more or less constricted. And just let your head and neck relax. Let your shoulders, let the weight of your shoulders take you deeper into the fold. With every inhale, imagining broadening across the back, so expanding the torso in all four directions. Feel the space between the shoulders widen as you inhale. And contract as you exhale. Set up a little rhythm for yourself where on the inhale you come up ever so slightly, and then as you exhale we fold back down. Inhale, lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone, and exhale, release. And just follow that pattern at your own pace. We have about another minute here. And last couple of breaths here. And using your hands, you can bring your hands to the chair maybe and press yourself up by pressing down into the chair. And use your hands to release your foot from the block. Let's take the feet wide. Sitting up nice and tall. Take a big inhale. exhale to prayer. Inhale, reach. Exhale to prayer. One more. Inhale, reach. This time take your left wrist with your right fingers, reach them up and over to the side. Couple of breaths here. Think about your hips and shoulders staying on the same plane. On your next inhale, use your core strength, press down into the feet and come back to center. Inhale, release, reach up. Take a hold of your left wrist, reach it up and over to the left. Keep pressing down into the feet, legs active. And on your next inhale, let's come back up. Release the wrist, reach it up, and exhale to prayer. Let's bring the arms out wide and just take some rotation. So palms to the ceiling, thumbs reaching back. And then flip the palms and rotate the shoulders so you're trying to reach the thumbs to the back of the room. Trying to isolate the movement in the shoulders. Reach the fingertips away, lengthen out. Tuck tailbone. Lengthen the back of the neck. Good. And one more. Drop your right hand down. Take your left hand to your right ear. And we're going to drop the left ear toward the left shoulder. Take some wrist circles here with your right hand. And remember, we're not pressing down onto the head, we're pulling on the earlobe, trying to create length between the earlobe and the shoulder. And then take your wrist in both directions. Release the right hand down. Take your left hand to your left cheek and use your left hand to bring your head back to center. And release. Inhale, arms wide. Rotate palms. Take those shoulder rotations again. Really think about reaching the thumbs back. So opening up the chest. Hello, little friend. And now left arm stays out, right hand to the left ear. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder. You can bring the left hand down to about 45 degrees. Just gently tractioning the neck and wrist circles on the left side. Both directions. And release the left hand down, right hand to right cheek, and press back up. Release both hands, heel toe the feet back in. And we'll take some sun salutations. So inhale, reach up. Look up if it's comfortable. Press the palms together. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, the arms circle back, around, and up. We reach up, press the palms together, pull belly towards spine, tailbone towards the chair, looking up, reaching up, and exhaling, hands come to prayer. One more. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Lead with the chest. All the way down. Chest to thighs, chin to chest. Inhale, coming halfway up. Hands slide up to the knees. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, circle the arms back, around, and up. Reach, reach, reach. Press palms, look up. And hands to prayer. All right, bring it down. Stop the timer here so it doesn't go off again. All right, I'm going to move the blocks out of the way. So let's hug the right knee up toward the right armpit. You can interlace either in front of the knee or under the thigh, whichever feels better for you today. And I want you to really hug that knee and get some compression in that right hip. So you feel a little bit like you're maybe a little pinching. It shouldn't hurt, but you should definitely be aware that there's some pressure on that hip joint. If you have hip replacement, just be careful. Don't take it past what's comfortable for you. Press down into the left foot. Lengthen the spine. So when we compress a joint, we help it release that synovial fluid. Shoulders away from the ears. And then take your ankle circles here. Keep compressing that hip joint. Circling in one direction. And then the other. Good morning, Jen. And let's point and flex. So point the toes, flex the foot, point and flex, point and flex. And then bring the foot to neutral. We'll bring the toe in, toe out, toe in and out. Reaching down, let's take your peace fingers, take a hold of your big toe. All right, we're going to go for yogi toe lock. We've warmed up the hamstrings, so now we're going to try to just straighten that leg in front of you. So bringing it out just as far as you can. If you're here, you're perfectly fine. The goal is to try to get the leg straight so that your heel, knee, and hip are all in one line. Again, depends on your flexibility. And we try not to be leaning forward, all right? If you have to lean forward to get there today, that's great. Otherwise, sit up nice and tall. Press that heel away. Beautiful. Nice job. And now if you want to challenge yourself, you can start to open that up. Oh. Great job, everybody. All right, let's cross the ankle over the thigh, coming into our figure four. So that was a new one for today. Here I've got my advanced students here today, so we can do a little exploration. So right here, just take a little inventory of your body. Close the eyes. Take a little scan, a mental scan of what's happening inside. All those little nooks and crannies. Crooks and nannies. Pressing down on, trying to encourage that knee toward the floor, and then maybe hinge a little bit from the hips. We're going to try to deepen that stretch a little. You'll definitely feel that on the outside of the hip. You might feel it in the groin. Drop the shoulder blades down the back. Engage your core. Pull belly towards spine. Neck is long. Alright, and let's unwind. Bring that foot down. And march it out. Just stomp the feet. Move them in and out. Alright, so that right hip should definitely feel juicier than the left. So let's go to the left side. Hug that knee up and in. Again, either in front or underneath. Getting that compression in the hip joint. Notice your right leg. You want your right ankle under your right knee. Spine nice and straight. Tailbone toward the chair. Shoulder blades dragging down the back. Uh-oh. Sorry, my computer just said I thought it was going to restart. Okay, thank you, technology. Hug that knee up. Keep hugging. So it helps to think about pulling the knee toward the armpit. If you pull it toward the belly, it tends to restrict the breath, and you have a little bit more mobility here. Again, keep that alignment in the right leg and the spine. And now let's start those ankle circles. Imagine you have that big marker on your toe and you're trying to draw a great big circle. Maybe making it a little bigger each time around. Changing directions. And we'll flex the foot and point the foot. Flex. Flex, point, flex, and point. And now come to neutral foot. We'll bring the toe in and out. Keep hugging the knee in, feeling that compression in the hip. All right. And now with our left hand, taking the left piece fingers, we'll grab a hold of the big toe, take our yogi toe lock, and then just start to straighten the leg. Focus on keeping your spine straight. So if you can get here today, that's absolutely wonderful. If you're here, you're awesome. You're awesome wherever you are. All right, so we're just challenging ourselves, trying something new. Let's take a smile, have fun with it. Maybe it opens up. Maybe the right arm reaches out. Yeah. Excellent. Take some breaths. And now let's bring it in and take that left ankle onto the right thigh. Figure 4, nice and tall. Check your alignment. Make sure, again, your ankle's below your knee on the right side. Lengthen spine and then hinge from the hips. So again, close the eyes and take that body scan and see what's going on in there. Check in with your mind as well. So if you're, what are your thoughts telling you? Remember, we're not our thoughts and we can control them. So if it's telling you a story you don't like, change the story. And let's breathe back up. Uncross. And march it out. Great job. Let's come on up to standing. And let's take some tabletop. Let's take tabletop and take some cat-cows. So if your wrists are tender, you can keep your blanket on the chair for a little padding. You might also use your block. And the other thing with tender wrists is you can always make a fist. So instead of pressing the weight into the wrist, you can make a fist. Keep the weight in the knuckles. All right. Either way, wrists are below the shoulders, feet are hip width apart. You've got a nice flat back here. Reach the tailbone back so that your hips are over your heels. Crown of the head reaches away from the tailbone. So this is our neutral. As we inhale, we're going to lift the tailbone and lift the chest through the gate of the arms and lift the gaze to the horizon. Inhaling, full belly. As we exhale, starting from the tailbone, tuck the tailbone under around the low back, the ribs, the mid-back and shoulders. Drop the head, chin to chest, and press into the chair. Broaden across the shoulders, so widen the space between the shoulder blades. And now inhale, back to our cow. Tailbone lifts, chest lifts, gaze lifts, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, tailbone tucks, back rounds, chin to chest, shoulders broaden. And take a couple more at your own pace. Inhaling, lift. Exhale, round. Try to create a nice rhythm for yourself. Inhaling. Release the hands from the chair and bend the knees, rolling up to standing. We're going to come into our warrior one. So I'm going to take the chair, place it so that I'm facing the tall way of the chair. Left foot comes forward, right foot goes back. Left foot is parallel to the edges of the mat. Right foot is at about a 45-degree angle. So this, and we have enough space between the front and the back foot so that the hips can stay facing forward. So take the hands to the hips. If you're unsteady at all here, you can keep your fingers on the chair. I think most of you can keep your hands to your hips. So right here, drop your tailbone down. Think about keeping your shoulders over your hips. Inhale. As you exhale, bend that front knee toward the chair, coming into our warrior one. So hips should be level and equal weight pressing down into the feet. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, straighten the arms. Try to bring the biceps close to the ears, reaching up. Tuck tailbone. Couple of breaths here. Now as you inhale, reach up. Exhale, drop your left arm forward and right arm back. Try to keep the hips facing forward. The gaze stays forward. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, other side. Right hand comes forward, left hand goes back, hips stay forward. Inhale, both arms up. This time we're going to exhale to cactus arms and come into a little back bend. So lift the chest, lift the gaze, and create a little back bend. Couple of breaths here. So building strength in the back, the shoulders, pressing down into the feet, working on balance. Inhale, reach it up, come back to neutral. Maybe the palms touch. And exhale to prayer. Take the hands to the top of the chair. Shift the weight back. So we're going to come into pyramid. You might have to adjust your feet a little bit. Step a little bit away from the chair. So we still have the left foot forward, right foot back. Both hips facing forward. This time we're going to keep the front leg straight, shoulders over hips. And now we're going to hinge forward, just like we did in our figure 4, just hinging from the hips. Put a little bend in that front knee, so not a big bend. We just don't want to lock out that knee. And now we're going to just continue to fall forward. Maybe the hands come to the seat of the chair until you feel that nice hamstring stretch. Engage your core, belly towards spine. And then just drop a little deeper with each exhale. So we don't round in, we don't collapse like this. We keep the spine nice and long. Tailbone and crown of head reaching in opposite directions. If you're very flexible, you can let the chest fall towards the thigh. And maybe the hands come to the floor. And wherever you are, let's take our way back up. So core strength. Release the hands down. Can you just use your core strength to come back up? Reach arms overhead as you inhale. Exhale, step the right foot forward to meet the left. Reach up, look up. And exhale to prayer. All right. Other side, right foot forward, left foot back. Depending on the length of your legs, usually about 2.5, 3 feet. Right foot is parallel to the edge of the mat. Left foot 45-degree angle. Both hips facing forward. So take your thumbs to your low back, fingers to your hips. Tuck your tailbone down. So if you do that, you feel the low back lengthen. Shoulders right over the hips. If you need the chair for stability, it's right there. Inhale. Exhale, bend into that front knee. So we're not bending and leaning forward. We're just bending and sinking. And sink the hips down. So everything from the waist up should be loose and relaxed. All the effort should be down below the waist. Feet pressing down. Now we'll engage the arms. Inhale, reaching up. Still not nearly as much effort on the upper body than there is on the lower. So that concept of sukha and sthira, right? Strength and stability and softness. Gaze is forward. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, let's take the left hand forward, right arm back. Hips stay forward, torso stays forward. Strong into the feet. Inhale, reach up. Shoulders over hips. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm back. Gaze forward. Inhale, reach arms overhead. Exhale to cactus arms and maybe look up. We got a little Japanese beetle visitor. Couple of breaths here. So here you might feel a little unstable. Try to check your balance. Always think about also squeezing the legs towards the center line. That's going to create stability in the hips. And now exhale, hands to prayer. We'll bring the hands to the chair and step back for our pyramid. So setting ourselves a little bit away from the chair so that when we come down we don't knock our head. And we shorten the stance. But we still have both hips forward. So shoulders over hips to begin with. Inhale, let's reach up. As you exhale, hinge forward from the hips. We're going to come forward. And take your hands to the chair to kind of guide you down. As you come down, maybe the hands come to the seat of the chair. Take a little bend in that front knee so you don't lock it out. And right here, lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. And you should feel a tremendous stretch in the back of the right leg. Think about equal weight in both feet. Even though most of the body weight is forward, we still should have we should feel equal stability in both feet. And now just take some breaths here and be curious. Just go where your body allows you to go. And even if you can go deeper, maybe you don't want to today. Maybe it just doesn't feel right. And when you're ready, use your core strength to come back up. And release the hands. You inhale to reach arms overhead. Exhale, hands to prayer or chair. Step the left foot forward to meet the right. And take your mountain pose. Feet hip width apart, palms face forward. Tailbone lengthens down, crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Tuck the chin slightly to lengthen the back of the neck. Just feel that energy, that prana that we've created. Nice. And release. Let's see, what time is it? Let's just take a quick balance while we're here. We haven't done our tree pose in a while, so get the chair here. We're going to face forward. Either side. We're going to do both sides, so whatever side you're on is fine. So remember our components for balance. We want to feel grounded. We want to feel length, crown of the head towards the sky. We want to focus on a drishti, so find a focal point. Concentrate. Shift the weight over to the leg closest to the chair. Start to pick up the other foot. Balancing here. Now maybe place the foot somewhere along the inside of the standing leg. Either the ankle, below the knee. And then maybe hands come to prayer. Maybe you grow your tree. Maybe the arms come up. Balance is a fluid thing. Every day can be different. Every moment. Shaking, falling. All part of maintaining and learning our balance. Hands come back to prayer. Beautiful job. And release it down. Shake it out. Just move the chair to the other side or turn yourself around. Do the hokey pokey. All right, find your drishti, root down, lengthen. So right here, if I came to you and tried to push you over, your feet should be so grounded that you wouldn't move. Shift the weight into the standing leg closest to the chair. You can hang on to the chair, maybe hands to hips. Foot comes somewhere along the inside of the standing leg. And maybe we pray. Ode to a tree. Reaching up Grow the branches. Lengthen the spine. Shoulders away from ears. Beautiful job. Hands back to prayer. Release the foot. March it out. Give yourself a little bow. Nice job. Back to our seats. Take a little cool down. Actually, it's time for meditation, so we'll just go right there. I'm going to fold up my blanket so my hips are higher than my knees. Feet flat on the floor. Oh yes, maybe take a sip of water. And 3 minutes for mindfulness. Focusing on the breath. We begin.